I'm confident that after you learn this work and you feel and see the changes that happen neurologically, you're going to feel the same way. Okay? So I wanted to start talking about what does quantum neurology mean? What's quantum? Quantum is used a lot in science. Quantum refers to the smallest particle of a physical form. And when we're talking about electromagnetics, that's a photon. That's the smallest unit of light. You know, quantum means light. When we're talking about electromagnetics, it means photons. So we're using light in neurology. So quantum neurology. And, you know, my wife is the one who coined the name quantum neurology. It's very fitting, right? You know, we were sitting there one day and we were talking about this work, and she was like, this work is so powerful. It's not just neurology, it's quantum neurology. And, you know, that just opened the doors for us, and we ran with it ever since. The reason it's so fitting is because we embody light therapy to perform corrections on the nervous system, which is very powerful. Because, you know, the universe, at least the way that we're affected in the universe, is controlled through light. Okay, our bodies are made of light. And when we look at, you know, how light affects our bodies, we could look at, you know, on the chemistry level, we could look at vitamin D directly affects our body. The food that we eat through photosynthesis receives that light, processes the chemical processes that happen, and then we eat that food, and then we're nourished that way. So we're actually nourishing ourselves with light energy as well. So all these things are happening through light. Okay? And of course we have, you know, the metaphors of light. The metaphors of light, you know, the Bible says, let there be light, and when there's light, there can be no darkness, you know, those kind of things. But we also have things that, like Dr. Salah says, you know, the theme song for quantum neurology should be Let It Shine, right? So Dr. Chauvin has t-shirts made, and on the back he says, I saw the light. Okay? So these are all metaphors that we've all heard throughout our life. And the reason those are, you know, cliches or metaphors, because they're real. Okay? Light is a healing property. And when it's used properly, the healing potential is amazing. Light has been used as a therapy for thousands of years. It's said that the Egyptians would drape different colored cloths so that, you know, patients that were healing in rooms would get the different color lights that would affect them. And we've all seen, you know, different therapies using different colored glasses and those kind of things, and that's all very effective for stimulating the nervous system. Okay? And we've all heard, you know, I'm just throwing things off the top of my head, bulls see red and it changes their perception of things. Okay? So just to give you some ideas of that. Now, I'm going to talk about the arrogance of science. Okay? The arrogance of science is that if something is not known, it doesn't exist. Okay? If something is not known, it doesn't exist. That's one of the arrogance thoughts of science. And the other arrogance is, if something is known, they act like they knew it forever. Okay, it was always known, of course. Of course it's that way. Quantum neurology focuses on looking at the nervous system as the primary system of the body. We look at everything through the eyes of the nervous system. So we have a neurological model. Traditional medicine and science has a chemistry model. Everything is looked at through biochemistry. And, you know, we know what that has taken us. You know, it's taken us very far, but it's just different. It's time for this new model of neurological model to start demonstrating what's possible by looking at the body through the nervous system. Okay? Why do I talk about all these things? Right? I talk about all these things because just because people don't know quantum neurology, just because they don't understand the concepts that we're talking about, doesn't mean that they're not real. Okay? These concepts are revolutionary. You take any neurology textbook, I just happen to bring one here. You take any neurology textbook, this is the Neurology and Neurosurgery Illustrated. You know, they teach you the same tests that I'm going to teach you this weekend. But what's the difference? They don't teach you how to fix anything in this book. You know, as great as this is as a diagnostic tool on how to find neurological problems, it just doesn't teach you how to fix anything. And you pick up any neurology book and that's the situation. Okay? So, I want to talk about calculus a little bit. Now, calculus was invented by, they credit it to two people. It was Isaac Newton and Gottfried Leibniz. Okay? Now, we all should have taken calculus in school. And, you know, I know how hard it was for me to learn. Imagine when Isaac Newton was trying to tell the first person about calculus. You know, calculus is amazing. You can figure out trajectories and descending volumes, and you can figure out all these things. And the first mathematician's like, you know what? We got addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. I'm not interested. And then he goes to the next person. And, you know, calculus is amazing, and you have all these things going on, and you can do this and this and this and this. And then slowly but surely, as he trained people how to do this properly, how to figure out derivatives and all the other things that we learned in calculus, now it's something that's so commonplace, it's taught in every high school around the world. Okay? That's powerful. But you know how hard it must have been for the very first time that those concepts came out? One, it's like, I remember when I was in school, I couldn't even wrap my head around some of these things sometimes. It was like, whoa, wait a minute. You know, and that's how people look at neurology. You know, you say neurology to people and they freak out. You say cranial nerves, people start sweating. You know, it's because they remember how hard it was in school. And it was hard in school because it didn't make sense. The way we teach in quantum neurology, we teach you in a way that it makes sense. You could see it change on the body, and it makes it easier to learn, easier to apply. Okay, it's very powerful. This weekend, I'm going to teach you the basics. I'm going to teach you how to test the nervous system, how to achieve a correction within the nervous system very quickly, within 5 to 10 seconds. Okay? And then we're just going to add more ability to that. And then as you go further and further in this program, you're going to have these neurocalculus skills by Module 3, where you're skipping steps and you're doing multiple corrections simultaneously. Okay? It's very powerful.